A lot of us do all kinds of things to change, practicing new habits, trying the latest self-help methods, working with coaches and mentors, and sometimes it still doesn't get us to where we want to be in our lives. If this is you, then stick around because I'm going to break down why you still might feel stuck despite doing all the things. And you might not like what you hear, but you just might need it today. And you're gonna wanna wait till the end of this video because I have something for you to begin the process of getting yourself unstuck. But let's get right into it. Welcome to the Monday Message. My name is Francis, and Monday Message is just bite-sized nuggets to help you go deeper. When you go deeper, this is how change happens. This change requires depth. And hopefully you get inspired to create more positive momentum in your life. So today is all about getting unstuck. I believe that there's just this one thing that if we can get past this one thing, maybe all the dominoes will tip over. So I'm just going to get right to it with love. As always, come here with an open heart, an open mind. Take the messages that resonate, leave the ones that don't. Why do you still feel stuck? This is going to sting a little, but I do it all with love. You might feel stuck because you want the things that happen to you in your life to be different than they actually are. For instance, you might want your caregivers to be different, your friends to be different, your partner to be different. You want that job to be different, and maybe even your kids to be different. But they're not, at least not for now. It makes sense that you want what happened to you and the past to be different because you yearn for a very different present and, of course, an ideal future. But let me ask you, is this actually realistic? I have a bit of an idea of how you might be feeling underneath because that desire, that pull is so powerful because there are so many unmet needs as a child, maybe some disappointments that happen throughout your life, and you might be feeling like it's time for the wrongs to be made right. But what happens is this desire, this relentless pull, has you paralyzed with fear, self-doubt, indecision, low self-worth, and anything else that you might be feeling that doesn't feel good, that has you weighted down. You might want things to feel normal, to be normal when they're actually not. First of all, can we just remove the word normal from our vocabulary? There's no such thing as normal. And if you don't know this about me already, but English words are just spells. And there's always some sort of paradox between what you say and how you're hoping that it's to be received, right? So English words just trip me up because they just, a lot of words just don't make sense. I'll just use a quick example. I'm going off on a tangent, but good morning. Am I in mourning? No. So I don't say good morning because of that. I just say great day. But I digress. So let's get back to why you're here watching this video. The issue with wanting things to be different is that it keeps you frozen in a time and space that no longer serves you because it doesn't exist anymore. You're holding on to the possibility of wanting your experiences to be different. And the key word here is possibility. Possibility is a beautiful word because when we think of the future and opportunities and abundance, the possibilities are endless. So possibility is beautiful. However, the possibilities are not endless when you think about wanting somebody else to change or wanting what happened to you to be different in a way that serves you the most. The encouragement and invitation here is to remove the word possibility from the equation. Now, I'm not telling you to let go of the possibilities of your life being different, creating that ideal life that is worthy of peace, love, alignment, balance, and wholeness. That is not what I'm saying at all. But, however, I am encouraging you to let go of the idea that those people or circumstances will change just to please you, just to heal you. And the reason for this is twofold. What you can and can't control. You cannot control the desire that you have that your caregivers are going to be healed enough to give you what you want or what you need. You cannot control that your partner will be healed enough to provide you with what you want, or even your kids, or that job to value you the way that you value yourself. Just starting to make sense a little bit. But what you can control is your actions and your feelings. And this is a lot harder because the responsibility relies on the self, which is you. What does responsibility mean? It is the ability to respond to these situations, which is a choice. Initially, it may not feel like a choice. In fact, it most likely won't. However, over time, when you're experiencing chronic suffering as a result of whatever happened, the responsibility does inevitably rely on you, which is within your control. And part of this process is being able to take back the power, your power that was lost in the midst of this unfortunate and hurtful circumstance or situation from the people that took it from you. Because what we have to do over time is reframe the idea that they are much more powerful than you. When you want things to be different than they really are, you're ultimately saying that you do not have the power to change things. So I must rely on some external situation or person to make those changes on my behalf. And so you wait and you wait. And maybe you adjust yourself throughout this whole process. And then you become bitter or have regrets. And you sort of build upon what has already happened to you. And you make those wounds deeper and deeper. And then you find yourself constantly agitated. Maybe you're sad. But what you're ultimately doing is cementing yourself into these extremely low vibratory states of being, hence why you feel stuck. Because feeling stuck is very heavy. It's very weighty. It sort of just drops you in and it consumes you in a way that prevents you from achieving clarity. And part of this is because humans, being the humans that we are, we tend to be quite emotional, right? We're emotional creatures, which that's okay until those emotions begin to cloud your judgment and they get in the way of you making forward progress in your life. And so this is an invitation to take a step back and say, okay, how can I see this objectively? How can I look at this situation in a different way? Because doing so is going to allow me to create forward momentum in my life. And sometimes our ego won't allow us to do that. And so there is this tension between our egos and the idealized self. So our egos and the self that wants to separate from this situation. There's a battle between the two. People don't change just because you ask them to. It would be nice, right? Because then, oh, the world would just be smooth. Even ask yourself, the changes that you want to make in your life, the ones that you've asked of yourself, how easy have they been for you? So part of this is understanding how hard it's going to be for somebody else to make that request. And do they even have the capacity to make that request? Most of the time, what we're doing was we're interacting with other people's hurt inner child. And so you have your hurt inner child interacting with somebody else's hurt inner child. That creates a lot of tension. And that's what makes it harder for most people to change because you're dealing with an unhealed version of that person. And part of this is removing yourself from the preoccupation of being overly concerned by someone else doing something different so that your life could change. So this is an invitation for you to take back your life so you no longer have to wait for someone else, for something else outside of yourself to do something differently. Because you came into this world with everything that you needed. After all, you are a reflection of the Creator, an extension of the Creator, whomever the Creator is to you. That is you. So take your mask off and embrace the truth. What makes this journey harder for you is that you might be pretending everything is okay when it's not. Or you are pretending to be someone or something that you're not. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The healing journey requires you to tell yourself the truth. No holding back. And when you begin to tell yourself the truth, and this becomes more of your default state, you'll be less stuck. So the first step of getting unstuck is to realize that things will not be different. This is an invitation for you to grieve what was once lost, what has been taken away from you. This is an invitation for you to give yourself grace, self-compassion, and self-forgiveness, and of course, self-love. So take a moment to grieve this tremendous loss. When you grieve properly, the stages in which these things happen in your life, you're no longer stuck and frozen in time. You begin to sort of move from one stage to the next stage, not in sort of a linear fashion, right? Because life is not linear. Spirit does not move in a linear fashion. But when you properly grieve, you can give yourself, your inner child, what wasn't given to them. And that will help you get unstuck. And that will help cement all of the teachings and all the things that you learned through the coaches, the mentors, the books that will help integrate everything so that you can actually take action. All right, I hope this message was helpful for you. Let me know which part of this video resonated with you the most and tell me what is the first step that you're going to take to become unstuck. Maybe it's grabbing my 125 self-reflection questions. They're life-changing self-reflection questions that could help you on this journey. I'll pin it in the comments below. Absolutely free, my gift to you. And I will see you on the other side of wholeness. Thank you for watching.